The SUV's broadcast of the Hawks-Naismith Classic is brought to you by Serious Sports Medicine for Serious Athletes, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine, Kenneth S. Nugent PC, Attorneys at Law, CBA Sports, Sports Construction Specialists, StatRow, Youth Sports Highlights Whenever, Wherever, and the Atlanta Tip-Off Club.
Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic here at North Cross High School as the House of Blues starts to get a little buzz in the air for the main event tonight at 8 o'clock. Hello everybody, my name is Matt Mahoney, to my left, Ned Cage, and all the way down there at the end is Lewis Preston. Before we get to the main event tonight, gentlemen, we've got a 6 o'clock showdown here between Tift County and Newton. Ned, I'll start with you here. As we look at Tift County, what's something that jumps out on the table to you as they get prepared for tonight's contest?
You know, I think being a defending state champion is tough because as soon as you win it, that target's on your back, and so you've got to bring it every day. You got to know that, you know, every team's preparing to take you down, to take down the defending state champion. 7-3 this year, they're handling it pretty well, coming off a nice win over Cook. But you know, it's got to be just an adjustment period for them to go from being the hunter to the hunted.
Coach, you got to know that mentality all too well with Newton. They've got a ton of talent, and another rematch with a team they're all familiar with.
Well, you know, I've always been a guy that when you have a rematch of a team that eliminated you from the year before, it's bragging rights. If you got to motivate somebody to play this game, then you need to get out of coaching, and then you need to stop playing the game of basketball. But for Ashton Hagens, recently committing to Georgia on Thursday, it'll be great to see how he comes out now. He has been the hunted all year. He has lived up to those expectations and then some. But I'm really excited to see Dre Butler in this environment, see how he's going to come out and play versus Tift County, because he's another one that has a chance to put up some great numbers here tonight.
You've dealt with a lot of skilled athletes at both the high school and the college level. Talk about what it means. Is it a sense of relief when they make that commitment, or do they feel even more pressure now on a big stage like this?
I think sometimes it all depends on the person who's making the commitment. Some of them, that takes a lot of pressure off themselves. For other ones, it truly puts that target on their back. And with Coach Fox in the stands here tonight, I'll be curious to see how Ashton comes out and play. I think he's going to be fine personally. He's been in a lot of top-notch, heavy-hitting games all year, but I want to see how Tift County is going to offset the different things that Newton can do to them, both offensively and defensively.
Ned, dive a little bit deeper into the numbers here in this matchup. What's something that jumps out, not only to you on paper, but maybe the difference in the ball game?
You know, I think Newton's just been playing at a high level all year long. I saw him play over at Holiday Hoops Giving. Their schedule is top-notch competition, and they play fast. I mean, if you're not ready to come out and run up and down that court, you're going to have a really tough time staying with the Newton Rams.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break here. We'll come back with more. You're watching SUV TV's Game Day Live here at the inaugural Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic. We'll have keys to the game and players to watch right after this.
The SUV's broadcast of the Hawks-Naismith Classic is brought to you by Serious Sports Medicine for Serious Athletes, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine, Kenneth S. Nugent PC, Attorneys at Law, CBA Sports.
Introducing Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Motion Analysis, powered by Dartfish, giving parents and young athletes frame-by-frame feedback on how to minimize injury and maximize performance. Upload your videos, visit our clinic, or let our specialists come to you. No matter the sport you play, Children's helps young athletes take their game to the next level.
I just love being a leader.
Because I like to punish people.
I think the big thing is just taking the right shot.
Just to embarrass people.
I'm a beast.
Do my thing whenever I'm putting on someone's neck. my dogs will be the best in 4 years.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the final day of the inaugural Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic. Matt, Ned, and Lewis here as we take a look again at this 6 o'clock showdown, as we take a look at the players to watch presented by Kenneth Nugent, attorney at law. One call, that's all. Lewis, you got one call player to watch here for Tift County.
Monte Terrell, once again, averaging 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how he plays against a guard-dominated Newton Rams team, and it's going to be very interesting to see not only how this guy's been consistent all year, how he's going to take and step up in this environment. Once again, South Georgia having a chance to come up to Metro Atlanta and prove their chops here tonight. How is he going to do it on the biggest stage?
Ned, for you, be sure to stretch. Don't hurt yourself. For Newton, who are you watching?
Yeah, Ashton Haggins, obviously. I mean, that's the name. 5-star recruit, 32 offers now going to Georgia. But one player I think is going to make a difference, and he's going to need someone to help him, is Dre Butler. And he's a football player as well, a great player on the gridiron. And now he's starting to get back in that basketball rhythm. You know, you come back from football season, it's a little tough. You know, he had a good outing at Holiday Hoops Giving, but now I think he's really getting in a flow. 15 points versus Mountain View in an overtime loss, but he's going to be a nice 1-2 punch, I think.
So we looked at the players. Now look at keys to the game, maybe from an aerial view there, coaches, X and O's, key to victory for either team.
I think a key to victory for Tift, if they're going to be successful, how they're going to handle the variety of different pressures that Newton's going to throw at them offensively, I mean, at least defensively versus their offense. Are they going to control the tempo, or are they going to try to make this an up-and-down game? I just look for it at the end of the day. I think Newton's going to have a little bit too much. I think I'm going to go with the Rams by 6 overall.
So we got not only a key to the game, but a prediction there.
Absolutely.
Vegas, check that line for us. They're Rams by 6. What say you, Ned?
You know, I think, you know, we talked about it earlier, and every coach will tell you, you know, new season's a new season. We don't worry about what happened in the past, but it's on the mind of the Newton Rams that they lost their last game. This is a payback game for them, and I think they come out, they show it. And I think Ashton Haggins is excited to show why he's committed to play, and I think he's going to do that tonight. I'm going to take the Newton Rams. I'm not putting any lines on it, but I'll take them straight up.
Fans, don't go far at halftime. We'll have a great interview, some great stuff for you at halftime from Ashton Hagen. Interview live right here on this set, so you don't want to go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll be on the call with Joe Hilsman here on SUV TV at the inaugural Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic.
Hi everybody, I'm Sam Crenshaw reminding you about the inaugural Hawks-Naismith Holiday Tip-Off Classic. It comes your way December 21st through 23rd at Norcross High School. Here's what the coaches have to say.
When you put those two names in front of something, that it's going to be run first class. The level of competition is going to be very good. Crowds are going to be real good over here. So it's just really exciting for us to be in it and be able to play that first night in it right here. And so, you know, and for me, an opportunity to come back and coach in this facility again is really special.
Introducing Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Motion Analysis, powered by Dartfish, giving parents and young athletes frame-by-frame feedback on how to minimize injury and maximize performance. Upload your videos, visit our clinic, or let our specialists come to you. No matter the sport you play, Children's helps young athletes take their game to the next level.
We welcome you in to the Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic 17. Joel Hilsman, Barry Browner, Lewis Preston. We are on the scene in the perch at Norcross High School, the House of Blue. It is Newton, it is Tift County. Newton will come out all in blue, blue tops, blue bottoms, white numbers, and white lettering. Their starting five will be number 0, Ashton Higgins, number 2, Trey Clark, number 12, Tyrese Brown, number 21, Amani Harris, and number 32, Sean Butler. For Tift County, their starting lineup will be number 1, Rashad Bateman, number 3, Montavious Farrell, number 12, Chad Copeland, number 13, Marquavius Johnson, and number 22, Jamarcus McClain. Coach Preston, you got in on the SUV TV Game Day line presented by CBA Sports. Barry, you know this team pretty well, both of them, and you know the state pretty well. What do you expect to see with the energy in the building right now?
Well, I can tell you right now, it's an exciting time for Newton Ram basketball. Ashton Hagan just committed to University of Georgia. Coach, I just saw Coach Fox in the building, so watching Ashton Hagan come out, he's averaging 19 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds. For Tift, you have Rashad Bateman, and that's it.
On the break, Trey Clark, layup off the window. He scores to crack the seal. Trey Clark with the first field goal.
Well, I think what's going to be very important for Newton is to once again see how they control the tempo, and then once they do that, see if they can impose their will on Tift, since Tift did eliminate them last year.
Tift, the 2017 defending 7A state champs. They're in white, operating now. Copeland spins it to the corner. Bateman, a corner three, off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound hit the floor. Terrell's going to get it. Terrell to Bateman. Bateman on the other side, scoring on a layup on the reverse. Rashad Bateman. His first field goal. We're tied at 2. Bateman, a football player, so working his way back into basketball shape, but now recently committed to Minnesota, so he's going to the Big Ten. And Coach Wade says he hopes that clears his mind. He got a lot of banquets and accolades from the high school game, and then got the signing out of the way. There's a 3-ball, rattle it right on down the milk crate. Tyrese Brown, a 3.
And that's one of the things that Tyrese Brown can do, can really shoot the basketball. He and Trey Clark stretch out defense with their shooting ability.
Copeland holds it on the left wing. A minute and a half gone by. 5-2. Newton with the lead. They are in blue.
I like how Tift is really looking to take their time offensively, seeing if they can find some weaknesses in this Newton defense.
Terrell springs it back. Newton basically what it amounts to a 2-3 zone defense. Backside Copeland is open. Here's Bateman. Bateman a long 3. Kaboom. Rashad Bateman a 3-ball. And Tift now exploiting some things, and they hit that 3. Bateman with all 5 of the Blue Devils' points.
And that's what Bateman did last year in the playoff game. Really gave Tift a sharp shooting guy that can really attack the basket, and like I said, gave Newton fits last year, and ended up eliminate Newton, I'm sorry, and won the state championship.
Hagens with the drive.
Once again, we got some fans that are a little bit over exuberant and standing in our way. I was almost going to call a broadcast technical foul.
There's been enough call here. We might as well start that one inside. Get that shot out of here. Sit away. Blocked to the backboard. Outletting. And now here comes the Blue Devils running with Terrell. Terrell going to stop into a southpaw. 3-ball. Skips off the rim. No good, Amani. Nope, that's going to be Sean Butler with the rebound. And no Dre Butler in the starting lineup. So now here's Ashton Higgins between the rings with the right hand dribble. Goes around the screen, now bounces off, lost his footing. Now dribbles out with the step out. Clark, a 3, no, rebound, fight for the rebound. Harris gets it, and he gives it over down to Brown. Brown back into Harris. Harris driving, got smacked across the face on a foul. So Amani Harris will go to the free throw line.
And what's going to be interesting, fellas, is Newton's coming off a 2-game losing streak, losing 2 games to Mountain View and Grayson both by 1 point. So it'll be interesting to see how they rebound back. Having talked to Coach Rasmussen earlier today, one of the things he said is that we've lost 2 games to 2 ranked teams, and we're going to turn it around. We're doing some things different defensively.
Harris missed the first free throw. Amani Harris, a 6'6" forward. Free throw, good. Split, 6-5. Newton with the lead, 5:15 to go. And now here comes Tift into the full court. They'll operate it with Terrell. Terrell over to Bateman. Bateman now to Johnson. Johnson puts it on the floor. Now one dribble to Terrell. Spins it to the corner to Bateman. Catch, fire, a 3-ball. Bateman, hill of the rim, no. Copeland gets the rebound. Kick out, a long 3, Johnson. Hill of the rim again, no. Another offensive rebound. This time they spin it out. Copeland, another deep 3, front iron, no. How many rebounds are they going to be able to get? Another offensive rebound here for Montavious Harrell. The 4th offensive rebound on this possession, and they keep hoisting the deep ball.
Hustle
Cannot
rebound.
bust the zone. Yeah, exactly.
Just hustle rebound.
Fellas, long threes lead to long rebound.
Terrell
has the rebound.
And you hate that. That possession there with multiple offensive rebounds ends with a turnover.
And the thing is that Newton's got the size advantage, and they're getting out rebound. Here comes Dre Butler. So let's see if that changes things for this Newton Ram team.
Dre Butler busting out of his warm-ups as though he is Superman. He may be. Hagens getting downhill, spins it to the corner. A long 3-ball. Good. A 3. Tyrese Brown. Off the dime drop from Ashton Hagens.
Fellas, when you have a player of Hagens' caliber with his high basketball IQ, he's going to get you the ball in the sweet spot. You just got to be ready to catch and shoot and do what you do best.
Bateman underneath. Shot is up. No. Bothered. Knocked around. They're on the floor. Fight for it. Out of bounds. And it will go over to Newton. The difference, I think, Barry, from this Newton game and last year's Tift team is the size inside for both teams.
Exactly. I mean, Newton, like I said, Newton's got a size advantage this year. Last year, Tift definitely had the size advantage, and then they just hustle. One thing about whether it's Dr. Eric Holland or it's Coach Wade, they're going to play the same brand of basketball. They're going to play hard, and they got this hard lunch pail type attitude down in Tift County.
On the cut, Clark, shot is up, no good. Rebound comes down to Bateman. Bateman now going to take it in transition. Crossing the timeline, spins it over, pass was deflected by Hagens, goes into the expensive seats, and bounces back to the best photographer in all of high school basketball, Ty Freeman.
Hey, Barry, you made a great comment about Tift County playing hard. There's an extra motivation and incentive for them being in the metro Atlanta area, especially here at the House of Blue tonight, to show their chops versus what arguably could be the top talent here in the state overall.
And guys, you know this as we talk about rankings, we talk about everything else. A lot of teams in South Georgia feel disrespected. And so anytime you got a chance to come up to Georgia, to Atlanta, and beat a team, that's big.
Swing it over to Bateman. Bateman now to Michael Graydon, who's coming in off the Tift bench. Still a zone defense operation from the Newton Rams. A corner 3 by Bateman. No good. Rebound and hit the floor. Rebound to Otis Jackson. Jackson now gives it to Terrell. In the corner again. Here comes Johnson. A 3. Kaboom. Another 3, Marquavius Johnson. And a timeout called. 9-8 with 3:12 to go. Go ahead, Coach.
When you give up that many offensive rebounds, right, like Newton has so far, as Coach Bray used to say at Notre Dame, the basketball gods are going to make you pay. Because what's going to happen is guys are going to catch the shot in their normal shooting rhythm, and that's how they've been able to knock down 2 threes.
I'm a big believer in the basketball gods. I really do.
Just like your jump shot.
Oh, yes, that is true. Stat Row showcases youth sports highlights and gives a portion of its revenue back to teams. Visit statrow.com today to learn how your team can partner with Stat Row. You're watching the inaugural Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic on SUV TV. This has been an outstanding event. You have the auxiliary gym upstairs, which is set up for the junior NBA and the Atlanta Hawks with the kids. So when I saw Coach Lou in here today, I went in there promptly and put up 100 jump shots. You thought I was going to ignore your comment? A long 3, good. Tyrese Brown is heating up his 3rd 3 of the day, stroking it from the top distance.
And I'm going to tell y'all something. Tyrese Brown is very capable. In the scrimmage game, he had 45.
Yes.
So he's very capable of pulling that 3 ball.
And who was that in the scrimmage game they played?
Eagles Landing Christian.
Okay, all right.
One of the
very good 1A private school team.
One of the best private school teams in the state, y'all.
I just want to go back to Joel getting up those 100 shots. How many did you make? Exactly. If you were a true shooter, you know exactly how many you make.
You like 8 out of 10, right?
No comment.
You like 8 out of 10, right?
No comment.
All right, then I guarantee you 8 out of 100. I don't know. I mean, you start making so many of them, you just lose count. 3 ball out of the corner, splash. A deep 3 out of that right corner, Montavious Johnson. His 2nd 3 ball.
Seems like we're going to have it from long distance tonight.
It is, and they're going to shoot. And it seems like Newton doesn't want to come out of that zone. And when you're able to hit the shots, it's supposed to be a zone buster.
Exactly. It's going to be very interesting to see how they do this.
Right, exactly. I don't know why Newton refuses to come out of his zone. Basically, the only shots they've hit have been threes.
Crossing the timeline now is Michael Graydon with 2:06 to go. And now Tift is going to spread and work. Uh-oh. We're going to play this? This how we're going to play it?
Well.
I didn't, come on, I don't want to play it like this. Here comes Graydon. Graydon downhill into the corner. It's scooped up by Jackson, back to Graydon. Now Newton's going to come out and extend. And you know, that could have been like the whole thing. Hagens almost got the steal. It goes out of bounds. Let's see which way they're going to go. It will be Newton ball. That could be a way because Tift has shot the ball not exceptionally well, but they've hit enough threes to where they're only trailing by one to say, well, Newton, you're not going to come out the zone. Well, we're going to do this.
And you know what? One of the things about knocking down the three, it does continue to keep you honest and makes you think about a couple things. Hagens right there with some great activity on the ball. He ends up getting Newton the ball back. Now let's see what Newton's going to do here offensively.
Here comes Trey Clark holding with the right-hand dribble between the rings. He's picked up defensively by Terrell. Gives it over to Hagens. Hagens out of the triple threat possession on the left wing. Step back, a long 2, foot on the line. In and no, off. Rebound, hit the floor. Graydon out of the guard spot came in there hustling. Today our wonderful cameraman down there using her hand. She was a point guard down at the Florida area. So she knows something about ball handling.
Okay.
Inbound, Hagens looks, feeds it in, and it was kicked.
You know, once again, ball is life.
And you know what? This Tift defense is very, very aggressive. They're playing aggressive basketball right now. And like I said, they're making Newton work for everything. They can't get past inbounds or anything. And like I said, they're making them work. It's going to be interesting to see how Newton adjusts going forward.
And even something to add to that, Barry, is it going to wear them out when we get into the fourth quarter when it comes to game-winning time?
Right. The one thing, fellas, that I'm going to talk about, Coach, if Newton's got a hiccup, it's probably their bench. Their bench is not as long as most teams. Like you look at a Grayson or McEachern, their bench is not that long. They play maybe seven guys at best.
And you know what? You just made me think of something. Dre Butler not starting, maybe is that to come and give some energy off of the bench and give a punch off of the bench.
That could be something potentially different to do since they've lost 2 in a row and trying to find something different to add to this squad.
Well, Coach Raz said they were trying to change something defensively, so maybe that's it. Sean Butler is 6'6" as well. So like I said, having him start and then have Butler come off the bench might be the key.
Butler skies and gets that rebound. 50 seconds to go. 12-11. Here's Hagens between the rings. Hagens going to drive up. Flip it up. The foul will be called on the floor. Ashton Hagens yet to score. He's got an assist in the contest. It has been Tyrese Brown using his powers beyond the arc. He has 3 threes. And Trey Clark with a hoop. And Amani Harris with a free throw. Now substitutions. Clark will go out. Here comes Sean Butler back into the contest.
As my man Bill Dolan at Newton would say, down to UPS Brown.
Yep. Okay. UPS Brown. Bill Dolan. Inbound. Now here's a pass, and it's knocked away and stolen. And he's pushed out of bounds, so Butler's going to pick up the foul. Barry, back to your point, and Coach and I have talked about this too. Tift is being very aggressive defensively, but they're doing the things that don't show up in the stat book, deflections.
They're making it, like I said, they continuously are making it hard for Newton to make plays. Like I said, the most offense they've had is Brown shooting the 3-ball.
Right. So once again, if you have to look at it overall, advantage Tift County right now.
Trailing by 1. Yep, and they're trailing by 1 with 35 seconds to go. Montavious Terrell walks right across the timeline, going to dribble that clock on out or try to. Tyler Glover into the contest now for the Newton Rams.
And Tyler Glover brings a spark plug off the bench. I've seen him a couple of times in different games. Get a steal, get a layup, get a steal, get a layup, and then hit big free throws. So, like I said, maybe having him and Butler coming off the bench, maybe that's going to do something for Newton as well.
Final 5 seconds. Terrell drives, and he dumped it off to Bateman, and a foul called. Coach Wade uses some form of exasperation. He doesn't like it. Coach Wade, Chris Wade, in his first season at Newton, they come in at 7-3, a loss to Valdosta, Meadow Creek, and Thomasville, and we know how much. There's an inbound back out to Terrell. Now a deep, long 3, bangs off, put back up, Jackson, no. We are at the end of the first quarter. Newton holding a 12-11 advantage on the Tift County Blue Devils. Right here, you're watching the inaugural Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic on SUV TV.
The SUV's broadcast of the Hawks-Naismith Classic is brought to you by Serious Sports Medicine for Serious Athletes, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine, Kenneth S. Nugent PC, Attorneys at Law, CBA Sports, Sports Construction Specialists, StatRow, Youth Sports Highlights Whenever, Wherever, and the Atlanta Tip-Off Club.
Back inside the House of Blue as the second quarter begins between Newton and Tift. Joe Hilsman, Barry Browner, Lewis Preston. Glad that you are with us. Tift operating now. Right to left. Stop. Going to pull a deep three. Tyrell Marshall, and he bottomed it out. Tyree Marshall, a three ball. And now Tift has a 14-12 lead. 7.5 to go, second quarter.
Once again, I think Tift County's done a great job of controlling the tempo, taking advantage of some wide open threes. And then I'm going to see if Newton's going to come out of the zone or they're going to stay in.
There's a dump off to Harris. Harris underneath. He was fouled as he went up. Hagens has yet to score in the contest. That does have a handful of assists. Right now, Coach Preston, what do you see from him? We know his scoring prowess. Barry mentioned 19 points a game, but he has not looked to fill it up tonight.
Well, I think one of the things is he's trying to get other guys involved. This is his first game since committing. So you want to make sure that you do what you need to do to be successful. But at some point, great big-time players have to step up and make big-time plays.
And that's one of the things, when you talk about that, Coach, that's Ashton. One of the things I've seen from him in the past is that at Hoops Giving, he did the exact same thing. First half, he didn't really score that much. And then the second half, he just controlled the game. So, like I said, he's going to get scoring in a minute.
We're tied at 14 after both made free throws from Amani Harris. He's 3 of 4 from the line. Out to the top, DeMarcus McClain into the contest between the rings, and he spins it over to the left side to Johnson. Marquavius Johnson, and they spin it to the top. Here's Montavious Terrell. Terrell between the legs, one way and the other. He's trying to shake off Brown. Gets a screen, goes behind the back, stops, picked up the dribble, dumped it off now, and here comes McClain. McClain lost it on the floor, out of bounds, a turnover, and it'll go over to Newton with 6:40 to go. Newton head coach Rick Rasmussen, they come in, they were 2017 Sweet 16 and lost, of course, to this Tift team. 7-2, and we mentioned the two losses. Grayson and Mountain View lost 2 games back-to-back by 1 point each. Corner, 3, Brown rattled it right on down the mountain. Hey, reach over there and give me that hot sauce. Give me the hot sauce. The 4th 3-ball from Tyrese Brown, and he's hit it and sprayed it from all over the arc.
Downtown Brown.
You got it.
Like UPS, right?
That's right. He delivering from deep. Swing it on a holiday weekend. Put it on the floor, and now here's Terrell. He'll bring it back out. Montavious Terrell with the right-hand dribble. Newton still sticking and staying in the 2-3 zone, but now they're matching up on Johnson. Take it, 3-ball, left side, heel of the rim, no good. Rebound out of the guard spot is Ashton Hagens, head up in the middle. Spins it up ahead to Glover. Glover going to stop, go all the way. They tried to block it, no. Rebound is going to come out of the guard spot again, and Montavious Terrell. Terrell now pushing it, Tift in transition. Oh, nifty move behind the back. A fake pass and goes up and scores. On the break, Montavious Terrell, a nifty move, and he scores his first field goal.
So that will be on somebody's poster.
It surely will. That's going to put that in the highlight. That's a one play. We used to call it down at NBA TV. That's a one play.
I'm surprised that one of these officials didn't call it travel.
You are right about that. 5:18 to go. I saw Brandon Boston, the Norcross players, they play at 8, but they've been here helping out throughout the day. And every time I see Brandon Boston, I tell him that was not a travel. That was not a travel.
I just want to tell whoever heads up the GHSA officiating, you can email me at lewis@integrityatl.com because we need to talk.
17-16. Hagen's drive got hit as he goes up and would be fouled. Barry, Lewis and I sat courtside for the first half of your great call with Ned at the Green Forest and Langston Hughes game. And Lewis had a few words for the ref, but the ref came back and said, that's what you thought. And I just figured Lewis was about to put his size 17 right up in the ref now. He calmed down, he looked at me, he said, Joe, he about to make me talk like a coach.
They had some interesting calls that game. I'm not gonna lie. It was a call. It was a travel call on Nolly a couple of times. I think
that's the one we were talking about.
First of all, my mama and daddy taught me if you can't say anything, don't say anything at all. So let's just get back to the game.
All right, 18-16. Hagen's on the board now with a pair of free throws. Yeah, he split them. Split the free throws. So Hagen's only has one. Shot rolled off, no. Rebound comes down to Harris. Harris clearing and outletting now to Ashton Hagens. Hagens across the timeline. He's picked up defensively by Johnson, and Johnson's going to get, offensive foul called on Ashton Hagens. Johnson was bodying him up. Hagens is hit with the clear out.
And you know what? That's something that we've been talking about. I've been talking about all day as far as like the push off with the free arm. The referees are starting to call that a lot.
Point of emphasis, I guess, maybe.
Okay.
I'm not saying I agree with it, because Johnson was hounding him.
Once again, I'm not going to say anything.
Copeland in the corner, a 3-ball, good. Strips the net.
Bang, bang. These guys are shooting the cover off the basketball right now at Tift County.
19-18, Tift now goes out in front with 4:10 to go, second quarter. Feed it in to Trey Butler, pump fake. Brown lost it, taken away, a steal. Here comes Johnson. They've got numbers up ahead to Terrell. Terrell dump it back off to Johnson, who scores. Beautiful job making the defense commit, and he dimed it off. Coach Rick Rasmussen calls a 30-second timeout. Tift leading 21-18 with 3:56 to go here in this second quarter. Looking to get a new basketball, tennis, or multi-purpose court? CBA Sports can help as your sports construction specialist for both commercial and residential projects. Visit CBAsports.com and contact us to discuss your next indoor or outdoor project. And CBA Sports, the home of our SUV TV Georgia Hoop Circle Studios.
Our home, right?
3 of the 4 here.
3 of the 4.
Mario, man, I'm going to have to put out an APB for him. Or is he on the back of a milk cart?
Hey, one of the things I just saw, y'all, I just saw Coach Sims and Coach Rasmussen very upset with Tyrese Brown. Get stripped, and he basically walked back. He didn't even try to get back on defense. Like I said, in a game like this where it's going back and forth and you got a tough Tift County team, you can't do that.
No, because you know what? That might be the difference in the game right there. 1 or 2 simple possessions.
3-point ball game. Hagens walks it up for Newton. They're moving left to right. They're all in blue. Blue tops, blue bottoms, white numbers, white lettering. Hagens goes around. Good footwork by McLean. Inside, up off the window. Harris, no. Tip. Who did they give it to? Butler?
Is that Butler? Either one. I give it to both. They get a half.
Give it to Butler. Yep.
First of all, let me go ahead and make post coaching 101. When you got 2 feet in the paint and you catch the ball down on the low block, no dribble needed.
Yeah.
Just power up to the basket. It's going to be very easy for you to score or the ref to call a foul.
Holding it back out now with 3:10 to go. Marquavius Johnson. We've seen Coach Wade do this just a little bit here. Wade in his first year.
Evidently, he went to North Carolina coaching camp.
They've got a key win. If you want to look at their key wins, Barry and Lewis, the key win over a very good Coffee team, but split against Valdosta. And Coach Wade said he did have a couple of players suspended. He says he's not putting up with that. And you can understand it in your first year. Yeah. If there's a championship pedigree, and you want to set the tone.
It's all about, sustaining your culture. And if your culture is about winning, you can't have an I in team. It's got to be we, although somebody might say me, right? There's a lot of other words in that.
That is true. Put it on the floor, smack down Bateman.
And Newton's playing good defense, and like I said, and now it's going to force Tift to take a long three.
And Butler gets the rebound, but Hagens lost it. He was taken away by Terrell. Terrell up. No, Hagens now gets it, and now Marquavius Terrell is still right there on him. Now hounding Hagens. Here comes Hagens driving, Euro stepping to the hoop. Layup, no, he blew it. Rebound is going to come out. Here comes Johnson quickly. Johnson being chased down by Clark. Up. No, it fell off. A foul call on Trey Clark.
I thought they could have called a foul right there on that Hagens move. There was some contact, you know. But once again, you got to move on and play through the play. You got to move on to the next play. This isn't football. You don't have 25 to 30 seconds to talk. You got to get back.
Free throw, back iron, no, by Johnson. Marquavius Johnson.
And sometimes you wonder with a five-star guy like Hagens, do they expect a lot of calls, or what do you guys think?
I mean, back in my day, I didn't expect no call.
Hey, listen, we called a Grayson game. It was an interesting game, and Hagens drove, much like how he just drove there and didn't get the call there. Dump down, dunk it home. Beautiful passing right there. Hockey assist there. A dunk by Dre Butler, his second field goal.
Once again, that's that unselfish play that I'm talking about. If you want to be a championship team, those are the plays you must make.
So now here's Bateman. A minute and a half remaining in the second quarter, 22-21. Tift trailing by 1, and then they're in possession. Here's Terrell. Terrell, the lefty, uses that right hand.
Tift's playing that 4-out, 1 in.
Bateman fading away jump good.
That's a tough shot right there.
Bateman now with 7. It looks like Newton is content to say, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to just shoot your way out of it. Hagens behind the back. Hagens dumps it off to Butler. Offensive foul called on Ashton Hagen. That's his second foul. Both of them have been offensive.
That uncomfortable silence right there was because it was a bad call. We can move on now.
65 seconds to go.
That's a tough call.
That's a tough call, yeah. Bang, bang call.
Y'all are way too kind. I'm going to call it like I see it.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm tired of talking about it. The officiating the first couple of weeks in the state of Georgia is well below what I've ever seen. I done seen bad. This is badder than bad. Worser than worse, even though I'm not supposed to use that language in a high school. Worser than worse. Yeah, he was grabbing on the rim. Didn't call that, though. Here's Clark. Clark holds it and now kicks it back out to Hagens. They may hold for the final shot. Ashton Hagens with 1 point in this contest so far. Feed it in, ball knocked away. Copeland gets the steal. Here comes Copeland coming back this way. And this is the knit and grit and fight that Tift likes to have. They will knit and grit and fight you all the way to the very end.
This is somewhat of a South Georgia game versus a, up and down once again. But it goes back to their hard work, to their grit and their toughness. And it's being displayed here in the first half.
They even, they're an Adidas school. They even got the work shirts for the coaches made up just like. There's a float, short. No, Hagens, rebound. Hagens, long heave, and it is no good. And we are at the end of a very, very quiet first half. It was a lot of 3 balls in that first half, but not a lot. Stay tuned. SUV TV, Game Day Live, presented by CBA Sports, coming up at the half, 23-21. Tift holding a 1-point lead.
The SUV's broadcast of the Hawks-Naismith Classic is brought to you by Serious Sports Medicine for Serious Athletes, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine, Kenneth S. Nugent PC, Attorneys at Law, CBA Sports, Sports Construction Specialists, StatRow, Youth Sports Highlights Whenever, Wherever, and the Atlanta Tip-Off Club.
Introducing Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Motion Analysis, powered by Dartfish, giving parents and young athletes frame-by-frame feedback on how to minimize injury and maximize performance. Upload your videos, visit our clinic, or let our specialists come to you. No matter the sport you play, Children's helps young athletes take their game to the next level.
Hi everybody, I'm Sam Crenshaw reminding you about the inaugural Hawks-Naismith Holiday Tip-Off Classic. It comes your way December 21st through 23rd at Norcross High School. Here's what the coaches have to say.
When you put those two names in front of something, and it's going to be run first class. The level of competition is going to be very good. Crowds are going to be real good over here. So it's just really exciting for us to be in it and be able to play that first night in it right here. And so, and for me, an opportunity to come back and coach in this facility again is really special.
I just love being a leader.
Because I like to punish people. I think the big thing is just taking the right shot.
Just to embarrass people.
I'm a beast. Do my thing whenever I'm putting on someone's neck.
My dogs will be the best in 4 years.
Hall of Famer Dominique Wilkins. Sometimes professional basketball players have to deal with serious injuries, and you never think it's going to happen to you until it does. You have one shot to get it right. So lawyer up. Call Kent Nugent. No games, no messing around. He's got this.
One call, that's all.
Ken Nugent, proud partner of the Atlanta Hawks.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN, spokesperson for Kenneth S. Nugent, PC, attorneys at law, 1355 Peachtree Street Northeast, Suite 1000, Atlanta, Georgia 30309.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, here to Game Day Live just outside the House of Blues Gymnasium here on the campus of Norcross High School. Welcome back to the final day of the inaugural Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic. I'm Matt Mahoney alongside Ned Kayish. As Ned, we've got a halftime score here, 23-22, and it's not Newton that's winning.
Yeah, it didn't go exactly the way we thought. I mean, like I said, we saw Newton play earlier this year. They love to get up and down. They want to get up and down as much as they can. Now, credit to Tift. They did their best to take it out. We saw them a couple times go into that four corners look, hold the ball 30, 45 seconds before taking a shot. Now, if Tift continues to do that, one thing that you'd like to see is that they run a set once they attack the basket. A couple times it was four corners, let's hang out for 30, 45 seconds, then someone just kind of jacks up a three.
Yep. It's interesting. Tip your hat to Chris Wade for Tift County. The Blue Devils came out and they had a game plan. They're going to face guard the big five-star recruit in Ashton Hagens. He's only got 1 point in his first half. He's actually had 2 fouls. He's got a frustration foul there right before halftime. And so they've come out with a game plan, and whatever the scoreboard says, they've executed well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think Ashton Hagens had a terrible half. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well. He did, get a couple fouls. He ended with 2 assists. Probably could have had 4 or 5, maybe 6. A couple of his teammates didn't finish some easy buckets. But the one thing I was most impressed about with Hagens is his defensive play. Whether it's hustle on ball, we saw him dive for a loose ball. But what I think he does really well, especially in that Newton zone, is he communicates. Every time they're out there, you see him, he's pointing, he's talking through his teammates where they need to go. And that's what you want out of your leader, especially if he's maybe not getting the offensive production he would like.
Coach Rasmussen there for the Rams is top of that 3-2 zone. He actually moved them back close to the block because Tiff had about 5 offensive rebounds in a row and 1 possession off of missed three-pointers. So he shored up the glass a little bit too as well. What do you make of Tift County's offensive approach in this contest? You said it, jacking up threes, or better yet, settling for a lot of threes.
Yeah, by my count, they got 5 threes and only, 3 2-point baskets. So whether it's settling or whether that's kind of in their offense, when you look at them, neither team is particularly big, a lot of guards on the floor. So, if Tift feels that, their best chance is going to be to take open threes and hit open threes, it almost seems like that is the game plan.
Yeah, it's an electric atmosphere here. There's more than a dozen college basketball coaches here recruiting. Fresh off of Ashton Hagens' commitment to UGA. Mark Fox is in the building too as well, watching his future Bulldog. But for now, we've got a halftime score of Tift County 23 and Newton High 22. We're going to take a quick break here. At halftime, we'll come back with more here of SUV TV's coverage of Game Day Live here at the inaugural Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic.
The SUV's broadcast of the Hawks-Naismith Classic is brought to you by Serious Sports Medicine for Serious Athletes. Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine, Kenneth S. Nugent PC, Attorneys at Law, CBA Sports, Sports Construction Specialists, StatRow, Youth Sports Highlights Whenever, Wherever, and the Atlanta Tip-Off Club.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Game Day Live just outside Norcross High School for the final day as we get set for the main event later tonight, 8 o'clock with the host Norcross High School. But for now, we're at halftime. Tift County over Newton High, 23-22. Matt Mahoney alongside Ned Kaish. Ned, this hasn't gone to script for Newton, but a lot of adjustments can be made here at halftime as I think, you tell me wrong, Rasmussen definitely has some opportunities to make some adjustments. His best player, only 1 point in the first half. They're not out of this contest by any means.
Yeah, no, not at all. And I think for Newton, they just need to get back to playing their tempo. You know, that's a big thing with basketball. Whoever can enforce their will, their pace, their tempo is usually going to be successful. That first half with that low scoring, definitely in Tift's favor. If they get out in transition, they create some steals off their press, off their traps. You know, that's how Newton's going to get back in this game.
What do you make of the momentum coming into this contest? Tift County 2-game winning streak. It's Newton on a 2-game losing streak. It showed a little bit in this first half.
Yeah, it did. I think this is going to be a huge second half for Newton because, you mentioned come off that 2-game losing streak. Last time out, an overtime loss to a very good Mountain View team. But this is a chance for you to kind of turn your season around. It's right before that Christmas break. You don't want to go into the holiday with that bad taste in your mouth. So there's a really good chance for Newton to come out, explode this second half, and get, kind of ride the wave and get the ship back on course.
If you're Rick Rasmussen and you look at the stats and you look at your team and you look at your 5-star recruit in the eyes, what do you tell them here at halftime adjustment they can make down one in this contest?
For me, one thing for Tift that was successful, we talked about it in the pregame, was Montavious Terrell. He's got 2 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and he's kind of been distributing, making this offense go. And I think you need to put a little more pressure on him when he's handling the ball, not let him be able to have his eyes up comfortably, finding the open man. When we look at Newton, Therese Brown has 4 threes. So you've got to find ways to get him the ball. They did it a couple times, running some down screens to get him popping out. Hagen's found him a couple times, but if you're Newton, really Tift, whoever that hot hand is, you got to ride him. Right now it's Brown. Hopefully he can bring that carried over into the second half.
And I was going to say, same game plan second half, you think, for Tift County?
Yeah, I think so. I think Tift will stay slow. Right now the pace is in their favor, and they want to continue to do that. And, we talk about it a lot when we're broadcasting these games. The first 3 minutes of this third quarter are going to tell the story for the game, so let's be sure to keep an eye out who claims the momentum and the pace of play.
Fans, don't go anywhere. We'll have second half coverage for you for this contest, and then don't go too far afterwards. We'll be back here Game Day Live as we preview the main event tonight in Holy Spirit Prep versus the host at Norcross High School. For Ned Kaish, I'm Matt Mahoney. We'll talk to you guys pregame leading into that main event at 8 o'clock. You're watching SUV TV coverage of the Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic.
Introducing Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Motion Analysis, powered by Dartfish, giving parents and young athletes frame-by-frame feedback on how to minimize injury and maximize performance. Upload your videos, visit our clinic, or let our specialists come to you. No matter the sport you play, Children's helps young athletes take their game to the next level.
Went and put on a blue undershirt during halftime. Copeland now has it for Tift. Quickly comes up, spins it back to the top. Bateman put it on the floor, over to Copeland, and they'll set it back up. Now here comes Terrell. Terrell behind the back, now spins it over. Bateman, corner, 3, out the wing, no. Butler tips it out, and here comes Hagens with the rebound. Hagens now in the middle, spins it over to the right. Stop, pump fake, put it on the floor. Escape dribble, pull-up jumper. Clark, no. Butler got the rebound, back out to Clark. Now here's Clark again. Clark driving, dumped it off to Butler. Butler layup, good. Dre Butler.
Good finish by Butler. Way to start off. I always talk about the second half. The first 3 minutes of the second half can determine how the game's going to go. What are you guys looking at right now?
I'm paying attention. Coach Wade may be hit with the technical. Hold on. He called a timeout, and he just got hit with a bench warning. Coach Wade highly upset at the ref. He got that explanation from this ref who asked him to continue to back up. Wade very upset, not sure why he is upset.
I can understand why. He thought that Dre Butler jumped over his player's back to get that rebound. But once again, I'm just going to go back and say this. I had talked about it. We talked about it a little bit off camera. As a former college coach, I always like looking at huddles and looking at chemistry and everything. And I've been very curious to see how Newton's going to come out and play in regards to this second half. So far, they've come out with a lot of energy, especially start with number 0, Hagens. I want to see how it continues throughout the rest of the game.
Hagens, Clark, Brown, Butler, and Harris, the 5 on the floor that started for the Newton Rams. Copeland, Johnson, Bateman, Terrell, and now McClain gets the start here in this second half.
And one of the key pieces for this Newton team is going to be Dre Butler. They've got to get him going. Game against Mountain View, he kind of struggled a little bit. But this game, like I said, they've got to get him going because he's an important piece along with Hagens.
Hagens goes and scores his first field goal. He now has 3 points.
And for me, if you're a PTP or primetime player, you're going to have to step up and just start to take over on both sides.
We have stoppage of play. The refs getting together.
Is somebody going to let us know what it was?
Not sure what happened. Obviously, Coach Wade isn't going to get an explanation. Uh-oh, Coach Wade done took the glasses off. Stuck them in the left pocket.
I know what that means.
Yep.
There'll be a technical soon.
That's almost like taking off the jacket. Passes it down in the corner to Copeland. Copeland now out to the top, and here comes Johnson. Johnson floating baseline, dunk. He hit Rashad Bateman. Bateman now with 9 in the contest.
I'm telling you, I'm really liking what Tift's doing in the half court offensively. Yeah, somewhat kind of lull and get a sleep, and they're always cutting back door off of that corner.
Just spreading them out. That's all they're doing, is spreading them out, dribbling the ball.
Butler, rebound, no, fight for it. And here comes Terrell out of the guard spot now. A minute and a half gone by, third quarter. Here's Bateman in the corner to Copeland. Back to Bateman, left wing, a 3-ball. Hail of the rim, no. Rebound comes down to Hagens. Hagens now turns on the Jets, but Bateman wouldn't let him go, so he floats it over to Butler, who put it up. It fell off, no. Rebound, hit the floor, back, up. Butler, count it, and the foul. The hoop and the harm. So Dre Butler now with 8 points, and going to the free throw line to try and complete the 3-point play.
Seems like there's a little bit of chirping going on between the big men with Tift and then with Dre Butler, so it's curious to see how this is going to continue to play.
Dre Butler with 8 points and 5 rebounds right now.
Free throw, front iron, no good. Rebound offensively to Hagens. Hagens now to Clark. Clark with the left hand high off the window and scoring. Trey Clark, his second field goal.
Nice move by Clark.
Yes, it was.
So now Newton has bust out to a 5-point lead, 30-25. An 8-2 advantage to start the third quarter. Long pass almost taken away. Terrell penetrates the zones, kicks it out. Johnson in the corner, a left corner 3. It's good.
And I was going to say, Coach, this game is a game of runs. So if they can sustain Newton's run, then maybe they can get back in the game. Newton's making a run a little bit.
Right.
Hagens, Butler, Clark.
Here's Clark below the foul line, put it up, floated. A traveling violation call with 2.5 minutes to go. 2.5 minutes gone by here in this third quarter. 5:30 to go, 30-28, and here comes substitutions now. Butler is into the contest along with Otis Jackson.
You know, Barry, you mentioned about sustaining runs and everything. One of the things about Tift, it looks like they do not get rattled at all. And that's part of them having that championship pedigree and culture in their program.
Deep 3, Terrell, hill of the rim, no. Hit the support, a turnover. It will go over to Newton.
And, Coach, you guys know this. When you've been through that fire, man, like, you're not worried about anything that's going on. You're just going to keep playing no matter what happens. There's going to be runs. You're going to sustain runs. You're going to get runs.
Once again, I've always said pressure either bursts pipes or creates diamonds.
Hagens down low to Butler, so Hagens has decided he wants to be the dime dropper tonight, and man, what a look to Trey Butler.
Usually they've been finishing those in other games and not finishing them tonight, so be curious to see once he gets, the rhythm. Newton's kind of getting in the rhythm a little bit offensively right now.
Free throw, rolled off, but they're struggling from the line. Into the contest now, Jamison Turner off of the Tift bench, and taking a seat will be Jamarcus McClain. 5:03 to go, and that was the third foul on Otis Jackson. Free throw is good, so Butler splits them. Butler 1 of 3 at the line today. A 3-point lead, 31-28, and a change in defense for Newton with a little token pressure lead to a turnover. Here comes Clark. Clark over to Hagens. They left him open. Hagens spins it over. Brown, a long three. Good. Tyrese Brown, his 5th 3-ball of the night. He has stripped the nets from all over the arc.
Fellas, that is a great example of Hagens' basketball IQ, knowing that Brown has hit his 4th, now 5th 3-pointer.
Downtown Brown. And you know what? You can't leave this kid. If you're watching the scouting report, you know he's a shooter.
3 balls. Terrell, no good. Hagens, rebound out of the guard spot. Here comes Hagens with his head up. Spins it up ahead to Brown. Catch, fire, a 3. Short, rebound, hit the floor. Terrell lost it, and now a foul call, and let's see. Foul will be called on who? The ref calls the foul, and then they're going to say it's on Tyrese Brown. Okay. It took us long enough. The ref that called a foul didn't even turn to the scores table to give it to us.
I felt like I was in church taking up offering right there.
Fellas, I don't know if y'all picking up on this. This game's a little chippy.
Just a little bit.
A little chippy.
We saw that earlier when Trey Butler got the and one. Him and number 22 were going into it. Refs got to make sure they can control it.
And a lot, you got to remember too, a lot of the players for Newton now getting that burn where they didn't get it in that last contest with Tift. There's a jumper. No, we travel. And then for Tift, conversely, they want to show, hey, look, we were good and y'all didn't even have to play us because we was on the bench. So that kind of leads to that chippiness.
Right.
Mark Fox in attendance, checking out Ashton Hagens, who committed to him on Thursday. The place was abuzz here on Thursday when the news came down. Here comes Hagens and a foul call way out high. It will be on Butler. And also now the game could be a little chippy, but that also has no flow and rhythm with 3:53 to go.
Exactly.
Right. Both teams got to kind of just settle down and just run something right here to get themselves going.
And believe it or not, I think the lack of rhythm favors Newton, because at the end of the day, they got probably better pieces off the dribble.
Hagens, a beautiful drive, and he left it for Trey Butler.
Hagens just doing what he does best, just drive and dish. Little D&D.
8-point advantage, 36-28. Butler drives, Butler up, no, and a foul, and it was called on the shot from the center official, and he calls it on Otis Jackson.
I think if Coach Rasmussen had some glasses, he'd take his off right now, too.
Check it, Amani Harris, yes. 3:31 to go. And Butler now will go to the free throw line, and Jamison Turner gets up off Chris Wade's bench and goes to the scorer's table. Free throw, good. He'll get one more, 7-point contest, 36-29.
With all this being said, we talk about the chippiness and all those different things. It's been a fairly well-played game offensively.
Bounce pass on the break going up and a foul. Harris came down. He was foul leading up on the break. Foul will be on Jamison Turner of Tift.
And, Coach, you're a big, so I love to see bigs run that floor like that.
Automatically. If you ever going to play for me, you better run and put your head on the rim.
And when you got a point guard like Hagens who can dish that rock, man, that's a beautiful thing.
When you have a point guard like Hagens, all 4 players should run.
Mm-hmm.
I should go get to my sweet spot down in the corner if I'm a wing, and then I should put his head on the rim. Second post is that trail, always.
Harris with the free throw, it is good.
Slider Sports Guy informs us that Butler's got 10 boards so far.
5 offensive.
He got a double-double? Oh, he's right there. I think
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yep, 11. He got a double-double.
Not bad for somebody that came off the bench.
Pretty much. And that may, like we said, it could have been something that they wanted, a punch off of the bench. Newton has increased the lead now out to 9, 38-29. Tift will have to kind of step it up just a little bit. Free throw is no good. Rebound to Clark.
Oh,
Clark outlet it. Oh, was it tipped or was it a bad pass? It was tipped. Tift able to get their hands in the passing lane.
I look at a play like that, and one of those things, as a coach, I'm sitting there saying, I'm okay with that. Now go get me the next one. You know, because once again, now they're starting to impose their will, gotten it out to a 9-point lead, see where they can go from there.
Hustle plays, Coach. You're good with hustle plays. You can't be mad at guys when they're making hustle plays.
Hagan reaching in, trying to get the defensive play, and did. Got the turnover. And he and Terrell are having a few words. It is chippy. It doesn't look chippy, but it is chippy.
I think this game is personal, man.
It is. It is personal.
It's like me and Joel in his 8 out of 10 3-point shooting contest. Once again, he took 100 shots. Still can't tell me his number.
I can tell you last year when Newton lost in the state playoff, we probably should have canceled school that day. It was quiet.
Yeah, that happened on a Tuesday night too. Yeah.
And Wednesday was tough. It was a tough deal.
2:45 to go in to Harris. Harris turns at the elbow, puts up the shot. It rolls off. No good. Another whistle. We'll come back down this way.
That shot right there, I'm okay with as a big. He didn't bring it down. He kept it up. Chin, aha, just didn't go in. He thought it was a nice post, mid-range post move.
And that's the shot that Harris can hit. He hit a couple of those shots last week against Mountain View. Played very well in that Mountain View game.
Johnson drives, got it knocked away. He was trying to go to the corner to Bateman. Bateman now has it. Bateman goes baseline right around Butler. 2 football on football guys. No good. Rebound comes down to Jawan Johnson. Excuse me. Messed up my own chart myself. Jawan Johnson spins it down low to Harris. Harris, little jump hook off the heel of the rim. No good. Rebound Bateman. We come up on 2 minutes to go. Outlet it to Terrell. Terrell can't touch it. He can't touch it. That's a double dribble. He couldn't touch it. Oh, they're going to give it to Tift.
In the infamous words of Coach Mike Bray, you got to go on to the next play.
Got to keep playing. Play on.
That's an obvious double dribble. Wow. GHSA, whatever, coordinative official. You got my email. Let's talk. Man, kick it off. Corner, short corner jump, no good. Rebound comes down to Johnson. Over to Ashton Hagan. 100 seconds left to go in the third quarter. I've never seen that before.
Yes, you have.
Hagens with a no, coach. The player knew he couldn't touch it.
I know.
Okay.
I think the ref was trying to say that Brown actually touched the basketball.
Nah, but he didn't make the.
No, but there's no way he could have touched the basketball. I wish we had a replay of that.
We do.
I know we do. but
if you're gonna do something of that nature, you got to be definitive with your call, like my post game. You got to be definitive with it.
But he blows the whistle, so now basically that turns into an inverted whistle. And you let a double dribble get away. Rebound by Bateman. 80 seconds to go.
38-29, y'all. And like I said, the lid's kind of been on a little bit for Tift lately.
Yeah. Yes.
They hadn't scored in a while. They need a bucket.
Bateman out of one of these corners, another whistle. They're not going to have to worry about it in the fourth quarter at the rate the fouls are coming in. They're going to be in the bonus. 1:11 to go. 38-29. Joel Hillsman, Barry Browner, Lewis Preston. Glad that you're with us wherever you are. Phone, tablet, laptop, desktop, the SUVTV.com. Turnover, and now here's Hagens. Hagens with the right-hand dribble. Hagens now going to go, stop behind the back, give it off to Butler, who was coming. Butler could not finish. Rebound to Johnson. Johnson outletting to Terrell. Here's Glover back defensively. Terrell behind the back, laid up good. Terrell's had a couple of nice moves in the open floor.
Yes, he has. Once again, Tift County is not going away. Just when you think that Newton's going to separate, Tift gets a turnover right there, and then they're able to go down and score.
Glover working. Newton may try to eat some of this clock, and a 30-second timeout is called with 35 and 1/10 30-second timeout call by Newton. Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine offers the specialized care to keep your superstar playing at the highest level. Find the location nearest you at choa.org/sportsmed. Ken Nugent, Kenneth S. Nugent, PC, attorneys at law. One call, that's all. Visit attorneyKenNugent.com. Joel Hilsman, Barry Browner, Lewis Preston.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Can the referees in the fourth quarter have the Ken Nugent slogan?
One call, that's all.
For the whole quarter.
Do you realize that one call could change it, and that would be all?
But for the whole quarter.
One call, no call. One call does it all with no call.
Just a one-call limit because we go into free throws the rest of the game.
Yep. Both teams only have one foul left to give before we hit the 1-and-1.
We're going to shoot free throws with 7 minutes left.
Yes, we are.
And Ken can talk to me about action and that extra plug, too.
Oh, you got to love it. It has been fun, the 3 days here at the Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic 17, the inaugural Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic. The refs, for some reason now, not, and this has happened a lot during the showcase here. The refs have not allowed certain substitutions after timeouts. He knew that rule, but he did not know the double dribble rule. Hagens now has it. He's worked on by Johnson. Takes it and gives it to Butler, who spins it back out to Glover. They'll eat it with 23 seconds. Now peeling out, he's got a count on him into the game. Tyree Marshall now defensively. Here's Brown. Brown on the Norcross Blue Devil logo. Hey, so is Tift kind of pseudo playing at home? Blue Devils?
They are the Blue Devils.
That's right. A negative.
8.4 to go. There's not much to talk about, Coach Preston. In the final moments, there's a long three by Brown. No good. Rebound. It's tipped around. Tift got it. Long heave. No good. We move to the fourth quarter. Newton holds a 38-31 lead over Tift.
I just love being a leader.
Because I like to punish people. I think the big thing is just taking the right shot.
Just to embarrass people.
I'm a beast. Do my thing whenever I'm putting on someone's neck.
My dogs will be the best in 4 years.
I'm Hall of Famer Dominique Wilkins. Sometimes professional basketball players have to deal with serious injuries, and you never think it's going to happen to you until it does. You have one shot to get it right. So lawyer up. Call Ken Nugent. No games, no messing around. He's got this.
One call, that's all.
Ken Nugent, proud partner of the Atlanta Hawks.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN, spokesperson for Kenneth S. Nugent, PC, attorneys at law, 1355 Peachtree Street Northeast, Suite 1000, Atlanta, Georgia 30309.
(38-31) as we resume play here in the fourth quarter. Dump it down to Bateman. Bateman, another reverse. He blew it, no good. Hagens gets the rebound. Newton in blue. They're moving right to left. All blue, blue top, blue bottoms, white numbers and white trim. Tift in the Adidas threads. White tops, white bottoms, navy blue trim, navy blue numbers, navy blue lettering. Going to drive. Hagens took the contact, got fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. That's the 16th foul on Tift County, 38-31.
Let me make this observation about Hagens. When Hagens goes to make his move, we always talk about players about getting lower. He does a great job of getting even lower and more explosive, and then that's able for him to get that contact and get some fouls, and he can start to build it from the free throw line here.
At the in another game at City of Palms, you got McKeechin 35, Simeon out of Chicago 30. Just thought we'd throw that in. Number 1 team in the state of Georgia.
Hagens, free throw.
Mr. McKeechin.
I don't even know why y'all brought the score. I'm focused on Newton and Tift.
I'm focused on Newton and Tift as well.
Whatever. You were trying to get an early Christmas gift.
Copeland, no, listen. This is 3/4 of the Georgia Hoop Circle. It's ranking night. So, you know.
Which we going to be up all night.
All night, especially with Sandy Creek and the performance they put on today.
And then with the fans of Upson Lee.
Oh, man.
We calling y'all out right now. We're going to tell you, get us a sponsor. We'll come down and do a game.
We surely will. Over there, Glover, a long three. Good. Glover tickles that twine from beyond the long line. Tyler Glover, a 3-ball.
Off the bench, Tyler Glover gives good minutes for this Newton team. But I'm going to say this again. Newton doesn't play that many guys, and that's got to be a concern going into region play and going into state playoff play.
Can you stay healthy? Can you stay healthy? And can you manage those minutes?
Brown, a 3, rattled it right on down the milk crate. That is 3, number 6. And a timeout call by Coach Chris Wade and the Tift Blue Devils. 45-31. If there's anything that has been automatic today, it is Tyrese Brown with a 3-ball. Stat Row showcases youth sport highlights and gives a portion of its revenue back to the team. Visit statrow.com today to learn how your team can partner with Stat Row. Unfortunately, we will have McEachern at the Tournament of Champions here on SUV TV. They'll be playing Miami Christian.
Will you be announcing the game?
Of course.
Okay.
Well, where will you be? Not here. So yeah. But while you are away on your wonderful trip, thesuvtv.com. There you go.
I just want to know if you're going to wear blue that night for Mr. McEachern.
Oh, my goodness.
I heard Mike Thompson got you a warm-up in shoes and everything.
I never turn down Nikes, no. Never.
You don't turn down no free gear at all, do you?
Nikes, now, especially the swoosh now. Come on.
And then I heard it's going to be Coach Joel.
No.
On the jacket.
Wow.
No.
Coach Joel on the jacket.
Come on, man.
Honorary.
No, I'm the SUV TV play-by-play
honorary commander.
Part of the Georgia Hoop Circle.
Hey, 2 quick stats I want to throw out to y'all. Ashton Hagens got 8 rebounds, 6 assists, flirting with this triple-double a little bit.
But he needs to score. He only has 4 points in the contest.
Well, you know what? We got 6 minutes left.
That's true. There's a 3 from Rashad Bateman. Tift had much success from beyond New York earlier. Can they look for it here again? Under 6 minutes to go. Up by 11 is Newton. Hagens turns on the Jets, dumps it off, and a blocking foul call. And now Hagens will go to the free throw line to shoot the 1-and-1. Hagens struggled today at the line. He's 2 of 4.
Is it just me, or am I looking at Rashad Bateman like, man, this kid can play basketball at Minnesota too?
Yeah, he can. He can play basketball at Minnesota.
Especially with Richard Pitino's style, up-tempo, once again with that strong football body. He's got that Big Ten look. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I tell you what, we saw Kenyon Jackson.
Right.
Okay, from Grayson. Jackson, of course, he's a little longer, but they both play wide receiver. I mean, who do you like better on the basketball court, Jackson or Bateman?
I like both of them.
That's tough. That's tough. And you look at a kid like Dre Butler. Dre Butler played defense and tight end for the Newton Rams and could easily be a basketball player. As a matter of fact, I think he has an offer from Presbyterian.
Yeah. And you see a lot of defensive linemen or tight ends, you know, that have that basketball skill set that translates into the next level. A 3-ball, rattled it right on down the milk crate. Chad Copeland, his second 3. The 3s have been raining today when they have fallen. Timeout. Brings me into mind of Barry. You're going to know who I'm talking about. Larry Brown. Since we're talking about Georgia, Mark Fox, Ashton Hagen, Larry Brown.
Larry Brown's from, actually from my family's hometown in Elberton.
That's right. Elberton, Georgia, Larry Brown. Played football and basketball at Georgia.
It is always great to be around 2 of the greater basketball, football historians in the state here with Mr. Hillsman and Barry himself.
Put it on the floor. I mean, Georgia's full of it. I mean, and you know now. You know. You've been here long enough to know.
I've been here long enough.
And the Southeast actually is full of it.
Exactly. When I look at Dre Butler's body, he reminds me a lot of Antonio Gates in regards to his shoulder size and everything. And anybody who remembers, Antonio Gates was part of that Kent State team that went to the Sweet 16.
That is very true. Catch, fire, Bates, a three. Bateman, no good. Rebound, tip out of bounds off of Terrell. It'll go to Newton. 47-37, 4:56 to go. Newton has pressed out now and has a 10-point lead after a 13-point third quarter, which was their highest scoring quarter. Conversely, Tift had 8 in that third, which was their lowest scoring third.
And I know that Tift shoots the three ball well because, like you said, long threes turn into long rebounds, and that's going to be trouble when you're down 10.
Yes, Glover holds it, feeding in to Harris. Harris put it on the floor. Stop, goes up. They bother it. Bateman comes away with it. He gives it over to Terrell. Terrell surveying the floor in transition with the left-hand dribble. Gets below the foul line over to Copeland. Copeland stops. Wanted to pull up, had to pick up his dribble, gives it over to Johnson now. Johnson to Terrell. Terrell will pull it from there if you let him. Zone defense now, almost like a 3-2, but it falls back now into a matchup because Glover is staying on Bateman. In the corner, Johnson open a three. Good, he rained it home. Marquavius Johnson, his 4th three of the game.
In a situation like that, going back to the defender of Newton, you got to swing over and you got to contest that shot earlier.
Kenneth S. Nugent, PC, attorneys at law. One call, that's all. Visit attorneykennugent.com. You're watching the inaugural Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic on SUV TV. I'm Joel Hillsman, joined by Barry Browner and Lewis Preston. 47-40, 4:08 to go. Now, if Tift begins to stroke that long ball again, they've got 9 points, all of them via distance here in the fourth quarter. Remember, they started the first quarter that way as well.
Exactly.
So it should be interesting to see, is Newton going to make an adjustment, or what are they going to do at this point? Like I said, Tift definitely shooting the basketball well. Newton's got to find a way to score. And like I said, pumping it inside to Dre Butler. And Tyrese Downtown Brown, UPS Brown, what can Brown do for you?
Jamarcus McClain checks in. So it'll be Copeland, Bateman, McClain, Johnson, and Terrell, the 5 on the floor for Tift, who are in white. Hagans, Trey Clark, Tyrese Brown, Amani Harris, and Dre Butler in blue for Newton, the 5 on the floor. And Tift has just been informed they only have 1 timeout remaining. Newton has 3. 4:05 to go. Now here's Clark. Clark being worked on by Johnson, gives it over now to Brown. Brown picked up by Copeland on the left wing. They're running action across the screen. There's Ashton now. Ashton catches it back to the basket. Going to try to go down, and a foul called on Johnson. Marquavius Johnson hit with the foul. Johnson with 4 threes in the contest, and a deuce, he has 14 points.
You know what? That was a great action right there to start Hagans off opposite. You knew because he had a smaller guy on him, and he's a bigger guard, they were going to take him down to the block. Great job right there, leading to 2 free throws.
Free throw up and in good for Ashton Hagans. He only has 1 field goal on the day, but he's made his last 4 free throws. He is now 5 of 7 from the line.
And now being in the bonus early, like I said, they're going to shoot free throws for the rest of the game at 3:52 mark. They've been shooting since about 6.5 minutes.
Well, on their next foul, Tift will be in the bonus and shooting free throws the remainder of the way. Here's Johnson, top side, going to shake and bake, drive it off. McClain couldn't catch it cleanly. It's a turnover. Hagans now leading the break, goes from the middle, stop, gets up to Clark. Clark, pump fake, up, shot. No, he was fouled, pushed in the back by Jamarcus McClain. More free throws coming with 3:32 to go.
Now, you want to know what drives me crazy as a coach?
What's that?
All right, Hagans gives him a great pass, right? Now, Warriors on the left side of the rim, right? Can you be in high school and not be able to use your left hand? Because it's not going to translate to the next level.
Coach, that's a lost art.
It's lost, though. I mean, I had someone ask me, why do I always say left hand, left side? Because you should be able to do that.
Exactly.
Free throw good from Clark.
And if you're from the basketball state, like our SUV producer, Marcus Burnett, you know left hand on left side.
That's right. Great state of Indiana. Fun state, man. I played a lot of fun basketball there in the Circle City. Terrell, long 3, no good. Hagans out of the guard spot. He's got to have double-digit rebounds now. Still, he's close to the triple-double now. 8 points. 51-40, 3:05 to go. Glad that you're with us. TheSUVTV.com. Butler, show the range. Good. Drake Butler. Butler with 13 in the contest.
That was a very nice little stop it, catch and shoot right there by Dre Butler. I didn't know he had that in his repertoire.
Nice shovel pass underneath. McLean scores off the window, his first field goal.
Tift's got to get a couple of stops, y'all. They're running out of time at 2:35, 2:34.
2.5 to go, 53-42. Yeah, they got to get some stops now. And a timeout call, a full timeout called by Rick Rasmussen. We'll take it with him. You're watching the inaugural Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic on SUV TV.
The SUV's broadcast of the Hawks-Naismith Classic is brought to you by Serious Sports Medicine for Serious Athletes, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Sports Medicine, Kenneth S. Nugent PC, Attorneys at Law, CBA Sports, Sports Construction Specialists, StatRow, Youth Sports Highlights Whenever, Wherever, and the Atlanta Tip-Off Club.
Barry Browner, Lewis Preston, 53-42. Scoring has picked up here in this second half. Newton with the lead. They'll be in possession on Tift. And, I mentioned that Tift coming in at 7-3. Y'all want to get on me. There's a nice move. Layup counted. And the foul, the hoop, and the harm for Ashton Hagans. You want to get on me by being Mr. McEachern, quote unquote. Well, one of the losses for Tift this year was to Thomasville, who has Reggie Perry.
Well, Mr. Perry, the best player in the state of Georgia.
I'm going to defend. Here's my thing about Reggie Perry. I don't think people get a chance to see Reggie Perry that much up in the metro Atlanta. They don't play up here at all.
This is Tift's second time up this year early, and they were playing up here during football season just to add to that point. Copeland a 3 good.
So my thing is, I think if you get a chance to see Reggie Perry, he's 6'8", committed to Mississippi State, 5-star guy.
Butler dunked it home. He has played a fine ball game. Dre Butler. Under 2 minutes to go. Bateman, a 3, right wing, front iron, no. Hagans with the rebound, but he had it knocked away. It comes over to Johnson. Johnson to Copeland, back to Johnson. Johnson, right wing, a 3, front iron, no. Hagans swallows in there, gets another rebound, outletting it to Butler. Butler now over to Glover, and they'll peel it back out. Ashton Hagans now with another dunk to Trey Butler. And the game now is out of reach at 15 points. Ashton Hagans got 2 rebounds there, so that gives him 11. He's got a double-double. He's not going to hit the assist mark. Rebound, Hagans skied for the board again. But he's 6'4", and outside of Butler, he's the biggest thing out there. So you can see the rebounding numbers as they've accumulated throughout the season.
Once again, he's taking advantage of his size and taking advantage of his numerous skills and abilities.
Coming up on the final minute to go in this rematch of the 2017 Sweet 16, Glover being worked on by Chad Copeland. Tift makes the trip up. The girls lost earlier today to the #1 6 team in 6A, that being the Lovejoy Wildcats. There's a turnover. Here comes Bateman. Bateman going to drive all the way, left-hand layup. It fell off the lip of the rim. No. Rebound comes down to Glover. Glover is pushed by Johnson. Will go down and shoot free throws with 37 and 7/10 seconds.
I'll tell you one thing. Newton didn't get off to the start that we thought they'd get off to. But once again, when you have as much talent as they have that ability to hit you with that spurt and to separate themselves. And they can do it a variety of ways, from the three-point line, from inside, and as well from the free throw line.
When you have a guard like Hagans that can rebound, he's got 12 rebounds so far, y'all. So like I said, he was almost at that triple-double. But when you got a guard like that, and then you got Dre Butler, and Dre Butler, I don't think you realize what a difference he makes for this Newton team. So
and Hagans with only 1 made field goal. All of his damage has been done. Oh, he has 2 made field goals. Everything else is from the free throw line.
Once again, when you are a top-rated player, right, we go back to all the greats that we talk about. There's a variety of ways that you can score the basketball without having to shoot. Because how many shots has he taken? 3, maybe 4?
Yeah, 3 or 4 shots.
Yeah, I'm impressed by that right there.
With 37 seconds left, I have a question for you guys. We've seen Langston Nolly, right?
Langston Nolly?
Yeah.
I mean,
Landers Nolly. I got
Nolly.
We all do it. Had the best
We've
with
seen Landers Nolly. We've seen Ashton Hagens.
Right.
We're going to see E.J. Montgomery next week. We won't see Reggie Perry.
But they won't come up here.
Here's the thing. Who's going to win Mr. Georgia?
Still too early to tell.
Yeah, it's too early, man. We can't have that conversation.
But we will be talking about it in January in the new year.
Surely will. Here comes Hagens. Hagens on the break, going to throw it up for Harris. No, Harris caught. Tried to dunk it home. No, and a foul call. Ashton showing his sharing and caring today. Multiple assists.
Just like with the Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic. As we're sharing and giving gifts to the kids today, once again, Hagen showing his multi-levels of talent. I'm looking forward to continuing to watch him play and to see how this team evolves as they get deeper into region play and as they get into the playoffs.
And they got a tough region, though. I mean, you look at Grayson. Grayson is the 100 right now. Grayson, we saw Shiloh this weekend. You got Archer, we saw South Gwinnett. So where do you guys see Newton as far as in region play, how they're going to?
Long 3, Copeland. I've got to say Grayson wins that region. Newton and Shiloh could tangle for 2nd or 3rd. Hagens, dunk! An exclamation point at the end for Ashton Hagens as he puts the cap on a 67-45 victory, a 22-point victory for Newton County. And Newton now improves to 8-2 on the year and snaps their 2-game losing streak. Final thoughts, Barry?
Like I said, Newton needed this win, dropping 2 in a row to 2 good teams. Like I said, they're going to be headed to South Carolina to play at FCI, so it should be interesting to see how they fare at FCI. They won it last year.
Ashton Hagens finishes with 13 points. And Tyrese Brown, who all he did was make 3-pointers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18 points, all of them from the land beyond. And then Amani Harris had a solid night as well. He finishes with 4, 6, 8, 9. And then Dre Butler had a solid night as well. He finishes with 11 and 6, 17 points. So 17 points from Dre Butler, 18 from Tyrese Brown, 13 from Ashton Hagens. On the other side for the Tift County Blue Devils, 3, 5, 7, 12 points from Rashad Bateman. Montavious Terrell finished with 4. Marquavius Johnson, 6, 8, 11. He finishes with 14, and then 9 points from Chad Copeland. Final score, 67-45. Our final game will be coming up at 8 p.m. in about 40 minutes right here. The SUV TV and SUV TV Game Day Line presented by CBA Sports will proceed it. Final score again, 67-45. Newton over Tift. It'll be Norcross and Holy Spirit in the final game of the inaugural Hawks-Naismith Holiday Classic right here. The SUV TV.com.